Hi, Rob. Brent from Vancouver. We've talked about minor disturbances where the friends kind of gang up on and see one person as a problem.
שלום, קוראים לי ברנט מקנדה. דיברנו על העניין של כל מיני הפרעות, כמו למשל שאתה מרגיש שחברים כאילו הולכים נגד איזה מישהו אחד בקבוצה, שמתעסקים כאילו נגדו.
But outside of the veterans thinking they're right, what happens when a real conflict happens? What happens when there's a real conflict? When there's multiple people feeling something and the group's kind of torn apart, and it's not one person, but it's a lot of people, and there's a real conflict in the group.
מה קורה כשיש בעצם סכסוך בתוך הקבוצה, כשזה לא איזשהו אדם אחד אלא בין הרבה אנשים ויש פשוט סכסוך בתוך הקבוצה? מה עושים עם זה?
Such questions cannot be solved automatically. So that for every question you have a ready-made answer. A group is like a single man, or like two, let's say. If there is a conflict between them, just like with a family, then you have to turn to some authority which is outside of the group, that they would help. As it says, a man cannot save himself from the jailhouse. If we are in some stress and we're all fighting one another inside of the group, who is right, who's not right, and this way, that way, we cannot reach anything. No, we can say, yeah, friends, you have to come together, to bond, you have to forgive one another. It's all just words. And we see that it doesn't happen. Also in a family it doesn't happen. Also in the families. Then why doesn't it happen? Especially in our days. In the previous generations, they didn't have problems in the family or whatever. They just lived and that's it. All in all, it's the last 100 years that this whole mess started inside of men and between people and in the families, etc. Before that, there was no such thing. People just lived quietly, and look what's happening in the world now. Tell me, does a cow have a desire to go and wander around a few miles away from her home, away from her place? No, she just lives and that's it. That's how people lived. This is my home, here I live, my family is here, that's it. People didn't have these thoughts of running somewhere, flying, traveling, moving themselves from one place to another. Forget it. And nowadays it's all a mess and there are many problems. And here, therefore, more and more increases the matter of the influence of the environment over a person. We have to understand that a person is incapable of correcting his own situation. I'm in a group. There is some conflict between us. If there is a conflict between us, then I cannot be influenced by it. That is, already from the upper providence, we are being moved to a new degree, a bigger degree, a greater degree, greater by the conflict. It's not that I'm there inside with myself in all kinds of different conflicts or problems or collisions, rather me with the group. That is a more advanced state. So what should I do? We have to search for an even greater environment than the group, and for it to help us to settle the relationships between us. The influence of the environment over a man, but a broader influence of the environment. You can never settle any dispute in the place where you are. You always need a greater environment and more and stronger environment. And this is how you advance. This is how it is arranged from above, from the heavens, that you will advance this way. And this is how it's going to be in every group. And there will be an even greater conflict and fights and all kinds of disputes, so that you will constantly search for a more environment and greater environment that will influence you, and it will swallow you up. It will help you to be arranged correctly by its influence over you. That's how it is. Nothing happens except if it is towards the goal. If you have problems with the environment, it's a sign that it is coming in order to connect you on a higher degree. So, you are one, and the whole environment is another one, and you now have some collision between you. So there has to be here an even greater environment that will engulf both of you and will create a completion between you. And this is how you will advance each time, by connection. And connection can only be through some external force, or you by yourselves are turning to the higher force. As it says, he who does peace in the heavens makes peace upon us. In the heavens, up there, means on a higher degree. There everything is arranged in completeness, in peace. From there can shine on us, on the lower degree, the light, and then we will be arranged. Things will fall into place. But that's on the condition that we nullify ourselves. Both the group and I, we nullify ourselves towards the upper force. We need to learn how to do that. But first of all, the main thing is to know that all the conflicts come in order to scrutinize the shatterings and to elevate us to an even higher degree. This is the cause for all that happens. There is nothing more in our world, no action, no incidents, except for us to connect with a greater strength.